Good afternoon, everybody. This is Pastor Caleb here, coming to you with our first Mililani Minutes. That throughout this virus pandemic and this lockdown, we want to be communicating with you, and I think this will be a great way to have these devotionals each day. But this morning, we're going to start by looking at Jesus calming the storm, specifically the account in the book of Luke, chapter 8, starting in verse 22. And it says, "One day he got into a boat with his disciples, and he said to them, 'Let us go across to the other side of the lake.' So they set out, and as they sailed he fell asleep, and a windstorm came down on the lake, and they were filling with water, and were in danger. And they went and woke him, saying, 'Master, Master, we are perishing.' And he awoke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was a calm. And he said to them, 'Where is your faith?' And they were afraid, and they marveled, saying to one another, 'Who then is this, that he commands even the winds and water, and they obey him?'" We see a lot in this passage. We see that they just wanted to go to the other side of the lake. It was a little bit of a sail, but it wasn't a big thing. But this storm was unexpected. It was a clear day. Jesus was sleeping. There was no need to think that there was going to be a problem, but then the storm came up suddenly, and it put their lives in danger. Even the disciples were afraid. They had seen a lot of miracles from Christ already, and they were afraid. And I think we see that today, that we prepare as much as we can. We get different things ready. We see different things coming. But sometimes danger just comes out of nowhere. So we weren't expecting this virus to be anything. We saw it starting up, and we thought, okay, the doctors will deal with this. It'll be fine. And then all of a sudden, most countries and most of our country is in a confinement to make sure that we don't get sick and that we stay safe in this time. Sometimes things just come out at us out of nowhere. And the disciples feared, but then they woke up Christ and he calmed the storm. We know that God has everything in control. We know that he wasn't surprised by this. We were, he wasn't. But in his power, he will keep us safe in it. He'll calm this storm. Now, in this passage, we see Christ getting angry and chastising the disciples, not because they asked for help, but because they didn't trust him. They didn't have faith that everything would be okay. So we need to know today that while the storm may not end when we want or how we want, it may be more interruptive of our lives than we wish it would be. We may think that, well, shouldn't this be over by now so I can get back to work? Shouldn't this be over by now so we can get back to our daily lives? We need to have faith in God. We need to know that he has this in control. We need to believe in him. We need to trust him. We need to see that in this miracle, he had power over the wind and the water, over the storm. And that is because he is the creator. He is the God of all creation. We need to trust that in this time, he's got it in control. And if nothing else, we know if we have faith in him, we will be saved. Now, that may not mean in this earthly life. That may mean that he calls us home. But we know that ultimately he will save us from this. We know that he'll protect us. He'll keep us all safe. Again, we may not stay here, but we will be with him in paradise. So as we continue through this time, we need to just take a moment and have faith that he knows what's happening. We need to take a moment and know that even if we're out of work, even if we're losing money, that he has got this in control, and we just need to have a moment to keep faith in him, that God is with us in the storm, that we know that we may not see him sleeping in the boat like the disciples did, but we have the assurance that he is with us even in this crazy time. So we can just have that moment of peace, knowing that he is with us. When we pray today, when we pray tonight, let us just thank him that he is with us even in this storm that we never saw coming. Thank you.